Welcome, comrades, to the first episode of the war season. This is the first episode will just be us setting out defenses on each base. We're allowed to deploy up to up to 50 parts worth of defenses on every single base. For me, I decided to go with a 3 turret setup. So I have the defense Mark 1, which is just a goalkeeper with some chaff and some flames and a bit of ammunition on the bottom. It's very basic. This costs about 13 parts. Yeah, so really cheap. And I have 2 of these. So there's a second one. And then I have the defense version 1.3, which is a missile system with 2 Janus missile turrets. Each for now I couldn't properly put all the missiles on them because I didn't have the parts. So this is 24 parts, and the other 2 are 13, which makes perfectly 50. So this holds four was it sidewinders? Yeah, 4 sidewinders, 2 AMRAAMs, 2 Pack 3 interceptor missiles, and some of these Hellfires at the bottom, just in case we can't get a radar lock onto them. It has a flareball, and the 2 raiders on the Jervas. Now I have deployed the same setup on the 3 other bases, and I've deployed the same way. Yeah, and the logic behind this was there is our great technicians got together and sat down, and they were wondering, what kind of defense should we have? One big turret, one, because if you watch the Kerbal Collaborative Warfare, which is the series, this is kind of a sort of this relative of this series. You would know that in Kerbal Collaborative Warfare, what they do is they make these really big really big defenses, lots of armor, and I've decided to go against that using some planning, and I think we can get one of our tacticians to explain it to you now in animation. Welcome, comrades. I am Mr. Kolotov. Now here we have an example of a single defense. It is strong, it is big. Now it's gonna get attacked by capitalist pig. The capitalist pig dropped 2 missile. One gets destroyed. However, the second reaches target and blows up. Now we will see an example of 3 cheap defenses. The capitalist pig shoot its missile. It shoot 3. They shoot down 1. The other 2 reach and destroy. However, 1 is still alive and destroys the capitalist pig. Thank you. Back to you. Thank you for that, Mr. Koltov. And here you can see another example of perfect K.S.S.R technology. This is our communication station, which will hopefully be providing us with communication links to the other horrible nations. Well, some not so horrible, but some are just, absolute swines. Now, you see, in our turn, we get 250 parts for each base, but we also get the 50 parts that our bases produce. All of us will get 50 parts this turn because all of us have 5 bases. Now, most countries could use this on maybe defenses. However, I chose to launch a communication satellite. What a communication satellite allows you to do is to communicate with other nations. So you can make trade deals, you can make peace treaties, you can make lots of wonderful and lovely stuff with it. However, you can still go declare war without one. Just drive a tank into someone's territory. I don't think they can say, no, you haven't told me about it. But mostly it would be nicer if you warned people about wars. But, it's all a matter of your own opinion. You see this launching pretty nicely into orbit, and here we have, yes, fairing decouple, and I can hopefully talk a little bit about the satellite. It has, now, we haven't added any kind of we haven't added any normal weaponry onto it for a reason. The reason being, it's not things like howitzers and 20mm machine guns and stuff like that aren't very useful in space on guard mode. And you see, as I'm not going to be attacking anything with this, hopefully, the only time you should be fighting it is on guard mode. Now, you see, if you put a howitzer has serious knockback, kickback. It's one of those two. So if you shoot it, your orbit can change severely. Now this means that it could knock the satellite out of orbit and crash into the ground. So the work is done for the enemy. The enemy just had to make it shoot and then it would crash into the ground. A laser does not have recoil, so it's completely safe. Now the problem with lasers is that they take a lot of electricity and they produce loads of heat, absolute tons of it. Now I'm commenting this because I have two radiators, as you can see on the side if I come back into the mode, and there's the two radiators, and I have a large solar panel and two RTGs on the I don't think they're in the cargo hold, you can't see them. These two, this should produce more than enough power, and the radiators should cool it more than enough to, hold off an attack, so to say. Now, I'm putting this in a highly elliptical orbit. You can see me slightly struggling in there to get it just on the brink of our galaxy, a highly eccentric polar orbit, which makes it quite difficult for the other nations. And yes, while I stabilize this, I can quickly talk about my country. So I'm the K.S.S.R, the Communist Socialist Socialist Republic. Sorry about that. It's ruled by the great and glorious Callum. Now he is our second president so far. He follows after Kenan, which was the great founder of the revolution. The revolution hasn't happened that long ago. When we gloriously kicked out the horrible Tsar, and gave the power back to the people from the horrible greedy hands of the monarchs and the rich people, filthy rich people. Now you see, it works like this. In a socialist state, which is ours, all the resources are spread equally for everyone, so everyone gets enough and plenty, so everyone's happy. And the capitalists could argue, well, people should earn their money, and I say, well, I don't think footballers should earn 30 or 100 sometimes more than nurses, because nurses do much more. That's just a plain example of how capitalism is so bad, so bad. And yes, socialism is amazing and will definitely work in the future. This is why our nation is the greatest and never fails. Yes, that's our nation. We're the ones on the map. We're the ones in the red on the very north. We own the North Pole, and so it's a bit chilly in our country, but we find we're also the largest landmass, I think, on the planet, with things like Dullspot, Great Escape, and the tiny Arkaboot Island on the slightly south. But yes, with that, thank you chaps for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. A quick mention on how we're producing these videos. So what happens is we give once you get the save file, you have 3 days to make all you want to do with it, to change it as much as you want, and then you have to pass it on. You can take how long you want to edit the video. This is why you might see some videos coming out in like somebody puts out a video and then the next guy puts it out like 2 minutes after him. It's not because he's amazing and can render and edit in 2 minutes. It's because he had already made it quicker than the other guy. We do make a pause, so at the end of, if the turn finishes before everyone has uploaded their video, we will pause the game until everyone has. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video from the K.S.S.R, and hope to see you in the next one. Subscribe if you're new, like if you're old, comments in the comment section, and good luck.